is your most recent Substack article that I'm aware of, talking about the cuckolding of the English man. I think if you want to explain a little bit of this, just so you can point people to your Substack, because I read this and I thought it was a very good article.
Yeah, so it's one of those questions I've been thinking about for quite a while, as in, what the hell has happened to English men? Look at the state of the country, look what's going on, look at the woke nonsense, look at our police force, look at the army, and I'm looking at everything thinking, what's gone on? So then I did a bit of research and I was, looking into it. And, we need to remember that English men conquered the world 200 years ago, biggest empire ever. And we conquered the world. English men stormed the beaches of Normandy and saved the whole continent from Nazi tyranny. That's who English men used to be, but we're not that anymore now. If we had real English men at home with the families, do you think we'd have grooming gangs raping tens of thousands of children if we had real men at home? Do you think we'd have trans women using female spaces if we had real Englishmen protecting their daughters and their wives? We'd have none of these problems. Do you think we'd have 1,000 or 20,000 illegal immigrants storming our beaches every year now for 3-4 years if we had real Englishmen in government, in the armed forces, in the lifeboats? If we had them, real Englishmen of only a few decades ago, 50, 60 years ago, most of our problems would be gone. But something's happened, and I sort of go through what's happened. The first thing really is, it started with feminism. So feminism said to men, you're no good, we don't need you, you're evil, all the problems of the world are yours. And we wonder why some men go, all right, well, I'll be a woman. And we wonder why, we have thousands of men killing themselves every year, because every message they get is negative. You're evil, you're an abuser, there's no place for you in the world anymore. So that's feminism. Then we start looking at political correctness. English men made a mistake there. They started shutting up and not pushing back, and that sealed their own fate.
Yeah, I don't want to put too much blame on the previous generations and trying to absolve, millennials and Gen Z from anything. But my generation and the generation immediately after are more the symptoms rather than the cause of the disease. Because at some point in the 1960s, 1970s, like you say, for some reason, men just let all this wash over them. They were just like, oh, feminists say I'm evil. Yeah, probably. They just...
Not all men.
Not all men, no.
So this what I'm talking about now is a gradual approach. So feminism by itself didn't destroy men. It destroyed some men and they became weak men. But then, same with political correctness. There's things as a man now I want to say, but I daren't, so I better be quiet. We set the stage for the kids and young people we have now. This has been a slow process over 60, 70 years, since the Second World War and since the creation of the welfare state. So since a man didn't have to be a man anymore because the state would look after him, that's quite tempting. When I don't want to do hard work, I'll just lean off the state. When single mums got so much power and the government paid them to be single mums, I don't need a father in the house anymore now. So you get out, I get more money. So all these things have chipped away. And that's what's led us to where we are now. Not one incident, 7 decades.
Absolutely. I mean, there's some that say that culture is downstream from law, and you can definitely see in those sorts of policies that you're talking about there how that has been the case. When the law says you don't have to be the man of the house, you don't have to be the breadwinner, when the law says, oh, you don't even have to work if you're able to find an excuse for yourself to be on benefits and such, even if you don't necessarily would qualify for them otherwise, then yeah, people are going to take advantage of those opportunities. People, at the end of the day, they prefer leisure to work. And if you give them all the opportunity in the world to have as much leisure as they want, what are they going to do? They're going to take it.
They're going to take it. And what that does then is that starts degrading how they feel about themselves and the value they put on masculinity. So even when they decide, oh, I want to do something, they haven't got the confidence, the skills anymore to be a real man, because they've allowed the state and the law and our community just to chip away so much with an empty vessel. They don't know what it is to be a man anymore. Our boys growing up now have no male role models. They can't even say I want to join the police or the army because they're men. No, look how woke and silly they are. There is no role models. And then, boys like to hang around with boys and learn from other boys. But every time we have a boys only initiative or club, girls invade it like they did with the Boy Scouts, with cries of equality. So even boys can't be boys anymore because girls want to get in there, and that changes the whole dynamics. So we're not even teaching boys how to be men.